Greatest common factor and lowest common multiple. This is a digital lesson. So it starts out explaining that GCF means greatest common factor. And then it tells students what factors are. And then it gives them a multiplication chart. So to find the factors of 24 on the multiplication chart, they find everywhere on the chart where there's a number 24. Then they move all the way to the left, there's one factor. If they go all the way up, there's another factor. Same thing with all of these. So the 4 that they can find on the chart would be 3, 4, 6, and 8. And then it asks the students, so they're going to type this in and then ask them if they can think of any other factors of 24. So there would be 1 and 24, and there would be 2 and 12, which are not on the multiplication chart because it only goes up to 10 by 10. So another way to find the factors of another is to list the smallest and the largest factors. Well, it's always going to be 1 and that number. And then you just move from the outside toward the center, finding all the other factors. So for example, here we have 1 and 36 for the factors of 36. It would be 2 and 18, so they type in 18. 3 and 12. 4, and we already have 9. And then 6. And you only need to type the 6 one time. So those would be the factors of 36. So the next slide, they're going to do the same thing. What is the greatest common factor of these two numbers? So they're going to find the factors of 20 and the factors of 24 using that method, and then look for the greatest common factor, the greatest factor they have in common. So here for the factors of 20, we have 1 and 20. I'm going to work toward the center, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. Now the factors of 24, I've got 1 and 24 already. I've got 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. So the greatest number they have in common would be 4. So the GCF, or greatest common factor, is 4. Okay, so the students have a few more of those to do. Find the factors and then find the greatest common factor. Then we go on to LCM. LCM means the lowest common multiple, and it explains to the students what a multiple is. So here's an example. The first 5 multiples of 4 and 5. Okay, and you're just counting by that number or multiplying 4 times 1, 4 times 2, times 3, times 4, and so on. So you're just counting by 4s here, counting by 5s here. The lowest number they have in common would be 20. So the LCM would be 20. Now students are going to do the next one. Find the first 5 multiples of 6 and 8, and then find the lowest common multiple. So 6, 12, 18. They need to notice they're counting by 6s, and 30. And the multiples of 8 would be 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. Now the lowest common multiple, the lowest number they have in common on this one would be 24. So the LCM is 24. Okay, so they've got a couple more slides to do that, also finding the lowest common multiple. Now when they get to slide 13, they've got some sentence frames, and this will be a review of everything they've just done. So they want to move these words into the correct place in the sentence frames. So to move them, you just click on the edge, click and hold, and then you move them where you like. So GCF stands for greatest common. So they move the word common factor. Factors are numbers you can multiply together to get another number. LCM stands for the lowest common multiple. And a multiple is the product you get when you multiply two numbers. So it's just a good review of everything the students have just done. Now they have a challenge problem on the last slide. The LCM of two numbers is 24 and the GCF is 4. And it asks them to find what those two numbers are. So they're going to have to just experiment a little bit and they can figure out that that is 12 and 8. So this is digital lesson on greatest common factor and lowest common multiple.